Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy T, and I got Mark behind the camera.
Hey there, how's it going?
And we're from Saddle City Comics, and I'm coming to you with another episode of The Road to 100K, which is basically my haul videos where I try to build that 100K collection. No doubles, as little filler as possible, but sometimes you get it in there. So I got a lot of stuff to show you guys this week, so we're going to get right into it, and I'll be right back. And we're back. So basically the first thing I got this week is if you remember in one of my last haul videos I had showed you a Harley box that I got. It was like a nice printed box that I was going to keep the collection in. And although they're kind of pricey, I told you I'm going to keep going with the printed boxes. So I filled that up, so we're on to the next box. We got this nice Venomverse box. You can see it's from the Clayton Crane connecting variants that I do enjoy. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's what we'll be moving on to.
That is a nice box.
Yeah. And the next thing I'm going to throw in there is Justice League hardcover. I'm going to start with the hardcovers like I always do. The hardcovers have nothing to do with the value of the collection. I just like to read these. I got this Justice League box where it's basically the Jeff Johns, Jim Lee run. It's pretty cool, but unfortunately I didn't realize that there are actually soft covers inside it. It's just a box. Like when I heard box set, I assumed that it was a box with hardcovers. I don't know. I'll still read it, but I'll probably eventually try to sell it. The next thing I'm going to throw in there, the last hardcover of this haul here is the Walking Dead Here's Negan book. If you've gotten a chance to go all the way back to the blind box videos, which is some of the first videos we did, you can watch my heart break again and again as the Negan evades us. So I figured, hey, this is the only way I'm going to get to read it.
Finally got it.
Finally got it somehow.
He's finally here.
Finally here. So I'll be right back with the rest of the books. That's basically the hardcovers, and I'll see you in a sec. Hey, so let's get right into this week's haul. First thing I got is actually a little bit of a victory, because if you remember last week, I couldn't find the Alex Ross, and I found it. So this is the Amazing Spider-Man 789 homage. It's first of all, I know the word is homage. I just want to say that for everybody. I know it's homage. I say homage. That's just what I say. Yeah, this is the lenticular variant, the Alex Ross. I was happy to find this at one of the stores, and I think this actually homages the Rock comic. It's a weird comic. It's not really part of the... It's weird, but yeah, I was still happy. Spidey book? It is a Spidey book, but it's almost like it's its own. It's like a one-shot. I couldn't really find it too much, but I found this book, so I was able to log it.
Was it ratioed, or is it just hard to find?
It wasn't even ratioed. It's like an old Silver Age book. It's called the Raw Comic or Rockonomic or something. It's really weird.
Was that book ratioed, or is it...
That book was just a little bit hard to find. It was just... I ended up going to like 10 stores before I finally found the place. And I actually had to buy the original copy as well with it. So, the next book I am going to put in there is Batman the Merciless from the Dark Knights. I don't know why I've seen this book going for $25. I think the $25 was an outlier. So I only seen one person actually pay $25 for this. I mean, the second print shipped right along with the first, and you barely can even find either already. So maybe it will warrant that price, but I got it for cover, and I love it. So the next book I'm going to put in there is another Dark Knights Metal book, and it's going for about 8 to 10. It doesn't have the 25 price outlier, and that is Batman the Drowned. Nice regular foil covers. I've always liked the foil covers. I'm trying to collect up all these one-shots. I think there's only a few left, so I'll definitely collect the whole setup. The next book I'm going to put in there is Grim Fairy Tales of Wonderland 25, and this is actually an Art Germ variant, and one of the guys at the stores this book is actually from 2014, and the reason why I have it in my new book section is because one of the stores actually saw this, just solicited and ordered it, and they still had some copies from 2014, so I was happy. It's a really good Art Germ cover. It's really sexy chick cover. It's really cool. I love it.
Is that Storm?
No, it's Grim Tales of Fairyland, so I don't even know.
Kind of looks like Storm.
Yeah, it does. So the next book I'm going to put in there is Venomverse number 5, which is the Clayton Crane connecting. I think this is the final one. As you can see, they already printed the box, so I'm sure the run's complete. I finally got the last one. I really like Clayton Crane's art. He's very fluid, so I found that it worked perfect for the Venom books. And the next book I'm going to throw in there, as you guys know, I collect the Harley Quinn Frank Cho's. I've been talking about them, so of course I got this week, which is Harley Quinn 30, Frank Cho variant. I actually really like this one. This is one of my more liked One, she's kind of in the witch outfit on the pumpkin. I don't know, it's really good. I like it. Riding her hammer instead of a broomstick. It's cool.
It's a nice book. I picked up a couple copies myself.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Definitely.
Wouldn't surprise me if that's a $25 book pretty quickly.
Someday, yeah, I could see that too. The next book I'm going to throw in there is Spawn 279. This is actually the McFarlane Walking Dead tribute. I just got it because I really like McFarlane Walking Dead tribute on a Spawn book. I've heard some things that there's supposed to be a first appearance in this book of a new character. I read the book, I tried to look what this character was. I wasn't really able to locate who it was. So for now, I just put the regular covers in my holding box because I want to know more about it. Like, is it the true first? What's going on? But in the meantime, I would definitely keep this McFarlane cover no matter what. So
I heard it as a first appearance too, but I haven't read it yet.
yeah, I can't find it. I even flipped through the book, so... The next book I'm going to put in there is actually Ash versus the Army of Darkness, and this is the Pasquale Quilano variant. I actually only found one of these everywhere I went. I don't know if it's going to go for more rare, but as you can see, the reason why I collected it is because it's an homage to Amazing Spider-Man 316, which is a famous McFarlane cover, which is actually Venom's first cover, and it's also the 4th appearance of Venom, so I really like that cover. Now, staying in the vein of that homage, and that since I really like it, I actually picked up this Spider-Gwen number 25, which is again a lenticular homage. It's the lenticular homage to the Amazing Spider-Man 316 again, which is the first Venom cover and the 4th Venom appearance. So it's really cool. I thought this was a really neat one because I really love that. That's McFarlane always was one of my favorite artists on Spidey. So. The next book I'm going to put in there is the Captain Marvel, I believe it is 125, and it is the Incredible Hulk number 1. It's the homage to the Incredible Hulk number 1. It's the Dan Mora lenticular variant, and of course the Incredible Hulk number 1's a huge book. You have the first Hulk, you have the first Betty Ross, the first General, like it's got tons of, and this book is extremely expensive.
I don't understand the tie-ins though for some of these legacy covers with the new covers.
Yeah, I don't understand why the Captain Marvel to the Incredible Hulk. Maybe the transformation is what they're. I don't understand either.
Spider-Gwen is Spider-Man, but I don't understand the Hulk Captain Marvel.
I don't understand some of them either. I like I said, I more collected them because I actually liked what it was homaging. I didn't really care about the original material. And on that note, I got this next one, which is the Invincible Iron Man, or just Iron Man 593, which is the Alan Davis lenticular homage, and it homages Iron Man 150, which is the double-sized issue, king size. I think it's an anniversary issue. I really love the classic Iron Man versus Doctor Doom kind of face-off cover, so I grabbed that one.
Classic battle cover.
Classic battle cover for sure. The next book I grabbed was actually another Iron Man 593, but this is just the original cover because they actually did an Adi Granov, so I collect Granovs of all kinds. I actually thought that was a really nice cover, Tony Stark ripping through the gravestone, his gravestone there, you know, back to the lenticular stuff. I think that was really cool. Next book I'm going to throw in there is, and this is another one that I guess we can all just go right away and say I don't get the connection, but this is Thor, Mighty Thor 500, and this is the Stephanie Hans lenticular, as you can see, and it's the homage to the Marvel graphic novel number 1, which is The Death of Captain Marvel. I thought that was a really cool cover. Plus, I had to get this because, you know, and if you've watched the Gil's Fromage to Homage, you know that this Lapierre is like his favorite thing. So, you know, little tip of the hat to Gil. I'm sure he loves that book. I'm sure he got it.
See, it would have made sense if the Captain Marvel was on that one.
Yeah, on the Captain Marvel. I don't understand what they were doing with those. The next book that I gripped was the Cable 150, which is the Rob Liefeld lenticular variant, and of course it's the homage to New Mutants 87, which is the first Cable. I love that key issue. I have it somewhere, I think. It's one of my favorite books for sure. The last book, well, no, actually not the last book. That was the last book of my new pickups. So now I'm just going to go to some random pickups that I got that I'm going to add to the collection. The first one is Scarlet Spider number 1, which is a variant, which is the 1 to 50 Perkins Venom variant. These Venom, this is, okay, so this isn't the Venomized, what just came out. This is the first round of Venom books. And for some reason, these are like, where they made them 1 to 50s, really hard to get, so these are worth a lot. So I actually got this for a really decent price. I can't believe that in some times it's going for like hundreds or more, like 100 or more. I got it for way cheaper than that, so I really like it because, again, Venom, my favorite character. The next book I picked up, and I picked this up for $6, so imagine my surprise when I actually learned that it was worth so much, and that is Catwoman 74, which is a classic Adam Hughes boob cover, I guess they call them, you know, where it's got like a big rack. I don't know, for some reason people love them and they go for way more. I was lucky and just found this amongst other Hughes covers, so I'm definitely happy to have that. The next book I'm going to throw in there I actually got from the Expo for free, so which is kind of cool, and that is the Iron Fist, one of the newest series. It's just the Calgary Expo variant. It's exclusive. I don't know, I thought it was pretty neat. I decided to throw it in.
Is it actually worth something?
I think it is worth like $20 or $15.
Because I know the Noto variant from the year before goes for a decent amount of money.
Yeah, that one goes for a lot more, but hey, I figured for free, throw it in. I don't know. The next book I'm going to throw in there is the George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones #1. I actually had just picked this up one time because I had read the actual Game of Thrones novel, and then I was like, oh cool, they had a comic. I had no clue that this was going to become what it is. It's actually worth quite a bit of money, so being a big fan of the show and the book, as I'm sure 90% of, especially 95% of the people watching this probably are. So yeah, that was cool. I'm going to throw that in. The next book I'm going to throw in there is my one cautionary book. I picked this up. It's a Redneck Retailer Incentive. It's got the foil. You know, I like shiny things. I've talked about that. I way overpaid for this. It isn't even barely worth anything now. I will not pick up these retailers like barely ever because you just have no clue where it's going to go. But since I bought it, I'm not going to take a bath on it yet, so I'll just throw it in begrudgingly.
So your first negative value book.
That's my first negative value, unfortunately. The next thing I picked up, though, I was really happy to find, and I actually found this on a guy who was selling it, and he actually gave it to me for like $40 or $50. I was actually really happy to get it, and that is the original Civil War set, 1 to 7. And actually, when I received it, I was super happy because these books look like they are off the shelf. Like, for $40, like, you look at the white on every one, like, these are like serious mint. And I never had this series. Like, this is one of the things I missed when I was growing up. So, you know, to have this first prints, all of them, I'm super happy. I'm really happy to throw that set in there.
And it's a great series.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've actually got the trade, which I will be reading eventually. I'm gonna put that there because for obvious reasons. The next book I'm gonna put in there, these books really are worthless right now. I don't know, I just heard some rumors about a Bloodshot movie at one point, so I decided to maybe try to chase some keys while they were still in the dollar bin. I don't have high hopes that these are really going to ever be, I don't know. If the movie is great and goes to trilogies, then maybe. This is Bloodshot number 19, which is the first Uzi. Minor character, minor appearance, again, just to see for movie buzz. The next book I'm going to throw in there is Champions #1, which is J. Scott Campbell Midtown exclusive cover that I picked up. I thought it was pretty neat. I picked it up because Spidey's in it. I always love J. Scott Campbell. If you care, I guess this is supposed to be the first appearance of the new Champions team. Who knows if they're even going to do anything with the new Champions team, but something to note. Coming down to the end here. As I've said, I like to collect a lot of Spidey #1s, so I actually picked up this Pop Man variant. I just found it somewhere for cover price. It's just one of the... I think this Spider-Man book was that one that I said was one of the most overprinted books of all time. It's got like 100 covers, so whenever I see them for just cover price around, I grab them.
You said Pop Man?
Pop Man, yeah.
Oh, never heard of it.
Mahn. I had never heard of it either until I really looked that up. Continuing on to my... legacy of high Spideys of the variants. This is actually a 691, which is the 1 to 25 Adam and Joe Kubert variant. I thought that was really cool, you know what I mean? I really like to try to get the incentives for those high Spideys, so definitely will be a good add to the collection. definitely coming to the end here. So the next book I got that picked up was Amazing Spider-Man 298, which is, of course, a Todd McFarlane on Spidey book, and you get kind of your first Eddie Brock. It's not really your first Venom. He's just in the shadows, so I mean, we all know 300 is the first. But yeah, this is definitely one of the ones leading up, as you know, like the 298 and the 299 actually are also like pretty big books as well, so happy to have that.
That's Todd McFarlane's first Spider-Man work, too.
Oh, and that's Todd McFarlane's first Spidey work, so sweet. That's awesome. Hey, that's another plus for me to have that. Another book I got a little bit of a Silver Age minor key here, and that is The Master of Kung Fu number 17. This is the first appearance of Black Jack Tar. I don't know, man, it's a minor character, but hey, I like the minors. I'll collect them all as long as it has something key or a reason to be in there, so I'll throw that in there. And besides, this is a really nice book. I like these little minor keys when I can find them like really mint, because you could usually get them for a really good price, way less than they're even worth, because no one really cares about these characters, so I like it. The last book is my big book of the week. I was happy to get this. This is a beautiful book. It is The Amazing Spider-Man 47. Great key, not key, but a great golden age, or I said it again. Great Silver Age book, obviously not golden age, but really nice condition. And it is a bit of a key. This is actually Peter Parker and Mary J. Watson's first date. Great Craven cover. You can see the quality on that is beautiful, and is definitely going to be welcomed in the collection. I'm definitely really happy to have that. I love my Spidey keys. I love the low books. So yeah, that's about it for this week. So I hope you saw some books you liked, or some great books to collect. Hey guys, thanks a lot for checking out another one of my haul videos. As you can see, I got a lot of good stuff. Hopefully some stuff that you didn't know about, or you can run out and get. If you actually happen to be in the greater Calgary area around November 4th, we're actually throwing our very first pop-up show, so you should come down and check that out. There's going to be a lot of good books, a lot of good vendors. We're going to be there. We're going to have a lot of good stuff, so definitely check that out. And before I go, I will let you know that the new total of the Road to 100K is actually $3,160, so I'm up to $3,160 with all my key issues and stuff like that. This is the 4th video, so I mean the values are growing pretty good, so make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and keep checking in. Keep seeing me get up there. The books are only going to get bigger. The stuff's only going to get rare. So I hope to see you guys next time. I got Mark with me.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, and check out SaddleCityComics.com. So I'll see you next time, guys.
Take care.